wondered how a software is being built? Hello, my tech enthusiast. Today we're going to be talking about the software development life cycle. So that is just the way the software is being built. And I promise you, it's just like building a house. I'm actually going to break it down for you in such a way that if you don't even have any tech experience, any tech knowledge background, you will be able to understand how the software is being built from start to finish. So watch this video to the end and let me know what you think at the end of the video. If you like a video, give it a thumbs up. I'll be waiting. So the very first stage is the ideation phase. So it is the phase where an idea is born. We want to build a software. We want to be able to, build a software, whatever the software is. You're thinking about it, brainstorming, thinking about what the software is. That is the very first stage. So just like in building a house, you actually realize that this is a time for me to actually build a house. So you come, maybe your partner, you discuss, we want to build a house. Yeah, we want to be able to build it and all of that. Even before you discuss with anybody, you have the idea, you're already brainstorming about it. That is the very first stage of building a house, and that is the first stage of building a software. So the very first stage is the ideation phase. Number two phase is the planning phase. So just like when you're building a house, you don't just go about building bricks, yeah? You don't just do that. You actually have to plan. How many rooms are we going to have in this house? How many bathrooms? How many kitchens? How many garages are we going to have? Where are we going to build it and all of that? That is the planning phase. And so just like building a house, you would have that kind of planning phase in building a software. So you are going to be looking at things like the features that software is going to have, and that is when the business analyst starts to gather the requirements for the software that is being built. So we're going to be looking at the features. We're going to be actually gathering requirements to make sure that we have a holistic software, whatever is going to cover. It's actually a very good software. So we are going to be looking at all the features of the software and documenting them down at this phase, the planning phase. That is what we're going to be doing. So the third phase is us discussing, is this plan feasible? Do we have enough labor? Do we have enough materials to be able to carry out this plan? So that is when you're building a house, right? So just like that, in the software development life cycle, we're going to be assessing time. Do we have enough time? Do we have enough labor? Do we have enough materials? Is it doable? Actually building or developing the software, is it doable? Is it going to yield interest or returns, right? All that is going to go on in this phase. I will call that the feasibility phase. You have to actually do a feasibility study of the software that you're going to actually build. So that is a third one. We've done the first one, which is the ideation, the second one, the planning, and the third one, which I would like to call the feasibility phase, is the phase where we actually sit down to think through the software that we want to build and how feasible it is for us to carry out. So the fourth phase, I would call it the design phase. So just like in building a house, we'll have actual architects who will draw out a plan. In the software development lifecycle, we've got what we call software architects. They are the ones that would actually design the software from start to finish, maybe like a high level design, but we're going to be looking at the database. We're going to be designing the database, UI, UX, system structure, all of that will go into play in this phase because every single detail is supposed to be mapped out before any code is written. So we have like a high level design of how the software is going to look at, and that is a fourth phase called the design phase. So yes, it's beginning to come together. It's now time to build. It's actually time to build the house, right? So yeah, so just like building a house, we have the construction workers, and we have got different kind of construction workers. We've got the bricklayers, we've got the painters, the electricians, the plumbers, the carpenters, and all of those kind of people working together to actually build a house. So for the software development life cycle, we've got different kind of developers. We've got UI UX, we've got database developers. All of them will come together to actually build the application, right? They'll build the software, and that is the builder phase. That is what we call the development phase. So it's actually the developers that write all the codes to actually build this application that we get to see. So we've done the ideation, we've done the planning, feasibility, we've got the design, and now we're in the development phase. Everything looks good, and the developers go to work to do their magic, put all the codes together, and actually build a software. So the very next phase we're going to talk about is the testing phase. So if you know me, you know that I started my career as a software tester, and this has got to be my favorite part of the software development life cycle. So just like when we're building a house, the house has been built, we're actually going to inspect. So are the doors opening properly? Are the windows well fitted? Are there any pipes leaking? We do all that kind of inspection, right? So yeah, in the software development life cycle, we actually have what we call the testing phase. So a tester would go and test that the actual application works as expected. So what is the software supposed to do? Are we able to log in properly? Are you able to log in using the correct code for the password? All of that kind of little test. We actually do what we call end-to-end testing, but that will be a video for another day. So we actually do testing to ensure that the software is working well. There are no bugs, there are no defects. That is a software testing phase for the software development lifecycle. And that will take us to the deployment phase. So, yay, the application is ready. Yay, the house is ready. We'll finish building a house, right? So, when you build a house, after everything is ready, the house is ready, you've tested it or you've inspected it, you will do what? You move into the house. So, for the software development life cycle, this particular phase is what we call the deployment phase. So we're releasing the software to the users, end users, you and I. We're actually able to have access to the application or the software to be able to actually use it. So that is the deployment phase. So the next phase after that will be the maintenance phase. So you've built a house, right? The house is not going to remain the same. It's not going to be spanking you 1 year down the line or even 6 months down the line. So you have to keep on maintaining it for it to um, become or to remain how you want it to be. Or sometimes you can even do more improvements. So you build a house, but you didn't have a garage then, and maybe some months down the line you want to add a garage to it and all of that. So just like that, in the software development life cycle, we have what we call the maintenance. So always continuous improvement. You always have to do update on the software, on the application. All of that goes on in the maintenance phase. So we've been able to cover the whole software development life cycle using the analogy of actually building a house, the analogy of building a house to be able to explain the software development life cycle. So there you have it, my tech enthusiast. I have been able to break down the software development lifecycle to you using the analogy of building a house. So the purpose of these videos is to be able to break down technical tech concepts in a way that you get it. So if you've enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up. If you have enjoyed this video, subscribe to my channel, share this video to your other tech enthusiasts so that they can benefit from breaking down of tech concepts in a way that everybody gets. See you in the next video. Bye bye.